days of November 2003, New Zealand prepared itself to say both hello and farewell to the single biggest phenomenon ever to hit our humble little shores. Wellington's Embassy Theatre would host the final chapter in Peter Jackson's epic trilogy, which took 6 years and over 6,000 New Zealanders to make possible. It was like one big media sausage factory, but the stars seemed pretty happy to be back in a place that many of them came to call home. In the animal kingdom, they say that if a dog wheezes on something, it's marking its territory. And I know you love Wellington.
Yes.
A rumour went around that you did actually wee.
This had to come up, didn't it?
In the bucket fountain.
It's sort of my fault because I'm too honest.
Tell me, what's the story? Come on.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's that bucket fountain in the centre of Cuba Street. And it's always been a bit of, like, I love it, but I hate it because it doesn't work.
And it splashes you when you walk
See, that's the thing.
So annoying.
It's not, it's poor engineering.
Yeah,
and every time I pass it, it's this sort of curiosity as to why it's been there for so long and it doesn't actually work.
Right.
So it was a bit of frustration between myself and Dom, and one night after having a bit of alcohol, we decided to climb it and then urinated in it.
Now, Elijah told me that he did admit that he did wee in the bucket fountain in Wellington.
He did?
He did. He just whipped it out and let it go.
Wow. Is that a rite of passage?
I think so, yeah.
Not only did I not do that, but had I seen Elijah do that, I would have stopped him.
Because your role as Sam, sort of looking after Frodo.
To provide appropriate places for him to have a wee.
Well, that's right.
Yes.
Did you do that in real life as well?
Not the day that you're talking about, apparently. I sort of liked the idea. Part of sort of getting into character for me was appointing myself as Elijah's sort of helper and protector. He didn't need it. He didn't necessarily want it, but he was certainly happy to kind of have me around. So I kind of would identify little things that I could do to sort of help him. I would sort out lunch a lot of times, or I would help him get his. When he would lock himself out of his apartment, I'd work on getting the keys to the apartment or something like that. Now,
you play Smeagol in The Return of the King, but you weren't originally going to be Smeagol, were you? You weren't actually going to feature your face.
That's right. I mean, when I started filming, started filming Gollum, no, I had no idea that Pete was going to... I mean, I actually said to him, I really feel that I should carry the role through into the young Smeagol section. It would just make total sense. And Pete said, yeah, I really want you to play young Smeagol. Then he thought, well, it's really important, therefore, to redesign the face so it looks like Andy.
How cool was that? You must have been pretty excited.
Oh, I was made up, yeah.
One of my main questions was, I was interested in why Lord of the Rings? Did you read it as a child?
I read it when I was about 17 or 18, and I loved it. But I never, I never thought about making a movie then. I can't say, and from that point on I dreamt of making a film because I just never even occurred to me that I'd ever have a chance to make the film, obviously. I mean, I wasn't even a filmmaker then, I was a photo engraving apprentice. And as the years went on, we started making films and getting computer technology, and we made a film called The Frighteners in 1995 where we had about 30 computers, and I started to think that you could do things with computers at that point that couldn't have ever been done before, and I began to think, well, what books or types of films could you actually make now that have been impossible? And Lord of the Rings popped into my mind.
How did you meet Peter Jackson?
He wandered into a TV commercial set that we were doing, and I just chatted him for a minute or so, but we hit it off instantly, and we endeavoured to catch up 3 or 4 weeks later, and here we are. It's been an amazing 15-year friendship, and it's really lovely to think that we've been able to work our craft together in the way we have.
In my hand, I'm actually holding the actual real bow that Orlando Bloom used in the film. It is really heavy. It's about 5 kilograms. And when Orlando was first started on the film, he couldn't actually use a bow at all. He'd never used one. And by the end of it, after practicing, he was getting it. And you know when they do the clay pigeon thing and they go in the air? He was like piercing them. Even at dinner, he'd do it and pierce small flies and they'd just fall down, the skill. And still, he's so arrogant. Things are probably quite different for you at the moment, aren't they, Orlando, because of the fame, the ridiculous amount of fame, and you'd understand what this is like, Liv. When we were travelling down to Wellington, we saw you at the airport, and the guy that I was with was like, and he just inhaler and everything like that. How are you coping with the with the fame. It's true.
It's so
Did you see
funny,
him?
that kind
He
of
almost
stuff.
collapsed on the flight to pull him off by his legs.
We're always shocked by it, because we're like, really, you like us?
Yeah, it is very weird. And it doesn't really happen unless you're in an environment where people are expecting to see you.
Right.
I mean, occasionally you get somebody who notices you in the street, but it's not like, I mean, that's the big myth. The big myth is that, like, people think that like, you walk around and you can't do anything. But, like, if you just get on with your business.
Behind me, a swarming mass of media from all over the world, conglomerating like a pack of swarming bees around Richard Taylor from Weta Workshop. He's just handed me this. This was an original sword from the film, and he was just telling me how it works. Arwen uses. It's got a flat bit here, so you can go like that. Of course, I can't do it very well because I'm holding on to this little fluffy thing. And, you know, it's blunt on one side and sharp on the other side. You can slice through it. And he used the example of cutting a pillow. It's very hard. Not really sure why he used that example, but I think it's something to do with the force that you slice down. This stuff here was obviously used in the film, like actually really properly made by Weta Workshop, like intricate detail. These little filthy maggoty things, delicious snacks for any hobbit. This is a sexual aid, obviously, a little French tickler, special.
It is an army bred for a single purpose. To destroy the world of men.
Tell me about your love of your sword. It's the gossip of the town. Everyone's saying, you know, he just takes the sword everywhere, sleeps at the supermarket, the gym, police get called. What's the truth?
Well, the police did get called, but I didn't hurt anybody. And I don't know about the supermarket. I guess it's possible. I don't remember. I know I had it with me a lot, especially in the beginning.
Why?
Throughout, because I didn't have time to get ready. You know, I only had a couple days, and I said, "Can I please take this sword with me? I'll promise I'll keep it safe, and I won't. If I leave the house, it'll always be in the car and locked up." And of course, I didn't quite keep my word.
Coming up next, Wellingtonians lose their minds as they meet their Hollywood heroes in the flesh.